Alabama Governor Robert Bentley has been, well, he turned himself in and he was booked. He has also resigned. He's no longer the governor. He's resigned after the sex scandal really brought it to the front. He turned himself in for failing to file a major contribution report. He pled guilty to knowingly converting campaign contributions for personal use. And so instead of facing impeachment, he resigned and, of course, turned himself in on these two misdemeanor charges. He already pled guilty, and so it's not likely that he's going to spend any time in jail. But his political career is over, which really doesn't mean much for, he's 74 years old. And so he was at the end of his political career anyway. But this is all around sex. This is all involved with an inappropriate a relationship that he had or allegedly had with his assistant, Rebecca Mason. And of course, he has denied it, but it became such a political disaster for him that he was going to face potential impeachment. And in the face of impeachment, he went ahead and resigned today. On Wednesday, according to the New York Times, on Wednesday, the Alabama Ethics Commission said that it had probable cause to find that Mr. Bentley committed felonies, and it asked the district attorney to consider prosecuting him. And so instead of facing felony charges, he appears to have pled guilty to misdemeanor charges. 2 days later, according to New York Times, a lawyer hired by the Alabama House of Representatives released a report that portrayed Mr. Bentley as deceitful and desperate. It was a 131-page report and offered little, and it stated that the governor offered little cooperation to legislative investigators. It also accused the governor's critics as being subjected to coercion, or actually he had coerced his critics, used the power of the governorship, power of his political power to actually to coerce anyone who was going to speak out against him. In June, the Speaker of the House was convicted in Alabama of ethics charges, and he was also forced to leave from office. And later on that year, Chief Justice R. Moore was suspended, violating ethics. If we go state by state, we're going to find a litany of these types of violations, these ethics violations. The violations in and of itself is nothing novel. But what is that someone is actually being held accountable, even if only a fraction of accountability versus him still remaining in office. So the Republican governor of Alabama has had to resign and turn himself in. And I believe we have an image of his mugshot showing that he's actually been arrested and smiling. It's not something that we get to see often, a mugshot of a sitting, of a governor, of a politician. But here is his mugshot, Bentley, Robert Julian Bentley, and his charges at the bottom. Again, it's a rare occasion that any politician is held accountable. But here you go. It happens. Doesn't happen often, but when it does, hey,